Connery wasn't afraid to make a few enemies out of his Hollywood colleagues, and the same can be said about the people in his personal life. During an infamous interview with Playboy in 1965, he made a comment that angered at least half the population. Quote, "I don't think there's anything particularly wrong about hitting a woman, although I don't recommend doing it in the same way that you'd hit a man. An open-handed slap is justified if all other alternatives fail." Over 20 years later, in a 1987 interview, Barbara Walters gave him a chance to correct his stance.
You think it's good to slap a woman?
No, I don't think it's good. I
think it's bad?
I don't think it's that bad. I think that it depends entirely on the circumstances and if it merits it. Yeah.
What would merit it?
Well, if you have tried everything else, then I think it's absolutely right.
To give her a good slap?
Yeah, absolutely.
While he insisted in the same interview that he never hit his wives, they had a different experience. His first wife was Diane Cilento, who was married to Italian writer Andrew Volpi when they met and was pregnant with his child. Connery left his girlfriend for Cilento, and the two married in 1962, but it was doomed from the start. Cilento was a burgeoning actress at the time and more famous than Connery, considering that none of the Bond films were released yet. Still, Connery insisted that she give up her career to take care of the children. It wasn't long until Connery made his own riches through the James Bond films, but he allegedly refused to pay anything towards their housekeeping.
Welcome to hell, Blofeld.
Not long after, he was rumored to have had an affair with actress Sue Lloyd, and rumors swirled after he developed public relationships with Shelley Winters and his Thunderball co-star Claudine Auger. Sylvia Miles also confessed to sharing a bed with Connery in the very home that his wife and children lived in. While filming for 1965's The Hill, Cilento and Connery attended a wedding where Diane allegedly danced with numerous male partners and partied until the early hours. Connery, who was exhausted from a long day of filming, returned to the room and waited for her. Cilento claims when she returned to her room, it was dark and she was hit in the face and fell to the ground. Then she was hit a second time as she found shelter in her bathroom and locked the door, where she stayed for the remainder of the night. Connery denies the allegations that he attacked her. A few years later, in 1970, Connery attended a golf tournament where he met his future wife, Micheline Roquebrune. At the time, she was married and had 3 children already. While she spoke no English and was a native French speaker, Sean Connery spent his week wooing her. Weeks later, he called her to tell her he was in love with her. Connery would divorce Cilento in 1974 and subsequently marry Micheline Roquebrune in 1975. To keep an eye on him, she followed him around the world to various film sets to ensure he wasn't tempted by his female co-stars. Of course, that wouldn't be enough to stop him. Connery met singer Lindsay DePaul at a party in 1989 and asked her for her phone number despite Micheline sitting right next to him. They started an affair in 1993 that lasted several months until he abruptly stopped contacting her. In 1996, Connery was caught kissing his makeup artist Nina Kraft, who was working on The Rock with him. A year later, Helle Byrne confessed that she shared an 11-month affair with Connery. For the 1999 film Entrapment, Connery starred alongside Catherine Zeta-Jones. He insisted that the script was rewritten so that there would be romantic scenes between Connery and the leading lady.
Has there ever been anyone you couldn't seduce?
No.
He was 68 at the time, while Catherine Zeta-Jones was 28 years old. While Connery seemingly cheated on his wives at every opportunity, Micheline says she knew what she was getting into. She would later say, quote, "When I met Sean, I knew I was taking on the whole package. Everyone wants him, and I have to accept and understand that."